internets.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello.
It's all working.
It is. I've been playing around with the format. Hopefully you guys will like it. Unfortunately, we're a player down at the moment for fatherly duties.
Yes.
But the champions of chance are back.
Yes.
I wonder how we're doing with the audio sync.
We shall find out after the broadcast.
Yeah, it's definitely all right here. Watching you guys, your voices are definitely in sync.
So far, so good.
But I don't know about the actual stream. Oh, we've got names.
Yeah. With fancy fonts and everything.
Just popping something on Twitter. There we go. Hey.
Another beer in a minute, anyway.
That looks really good. I feel all important in my gilded picture frame.
That was the idea.
Ben hasn't got a party hat though.
What?
Why would Ben have
a party hat?
Why would Ben have a party hat?
Because I missed the cheat.
Because it's Ben's birthday.
Oh, that.
You mean like that? Happy birthday, Benjin.
Happy
I don't know
birthday.
if it's Benjin's birthday. I can't remember. I don't know if I wrote when he was born.
It's clearly today.
No, I didn't.
Okay then. Are we ready?
Yep.
Then we should begin. Okay, so we just did a little recap offline, but we'll do another one in case someone's joining the stream and wants to know what's going on. You have recently left the town of Goldenfields. No, sorry, recently left the town of Nightstone. You're on the track of the stolen Nightstone, which is an obelisk, which was in the center of the village. It was stolen by some cloud giants. The village of Nightstone was first raided by goblins, then attacked by orcs. You then rescued the villagers from the goblins, fought off the orcs, and decided to follow the rough path of the Nightstone because the cloud giant's castle seemed to be heading in a north by northeast direction. So you said you're going to head that way. And en route, you were told by the people of Nightstone they were short of food, so they suggested speaking to the druids of Goldenfields because they may be able to assist. On just after you left Goldenfield, Nightstone, I keep saying Goldenfields, where you're going. Just after you left Nightstone, you encountered a cloud giant in a tower. You're a bit nervous at first, actually, after hearing that a cloud giant has attacked a town. But this was a rather eccentric old wizard who has been hearing voices, as he says, which is basically communicating with kind of beings from another dimension. And they've told him that you can help him. But he's not entirely sure what you need to do. And he's not entirely sure how you can help. But
he's just not very sure at all.
He's not really sure of anything, really, yeah. However, you did get him to use some of his abilities to ask some questions, where you asked some questions about the Nightstone.
Indeed.
And that was where we left it last session. So the last thing you were told was you've been given all these answers and you were on the castle.
Yes.
And I do believe he'd offered to take you to Goldenfields.
Yep, which sounds like a fairly sensible next step, I would say.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, it explains it's going to be a few days' travel, which is what you were expecting anyway, but at least up in a cloud giant tower whizzing through the air, you can relax and not have to get saddle sore from driving from riding or worry about foraging for food. Zephyros is eccentric self that you've already known. He seems to spend most of his time in his room, which is like you can just make out for the hole in the ceiling because there's no stairs to the upper floors. It's just a hole in the ceiling, and every time he comes down or goes up, he just levitates up and down. So he basically says you're free to do whatever you want on the ground floor, but obviously whatever's upstairs is out of bounds. And he seems to spend quite a bit of his time upstairs studying, he says. And he also explains that the controls for actually how he flies the tower is situated above. So if he needs to move along the tower, he's up there doing something. You're not entirely sure what. But every so often he comes down, he cooks food with you. Being a giant, his portion sizes are generous.
Is that even by Benjin standards?
Even by Benjin standards, yes.
Are his ale portion size is generous?
Well, he pours himself a small mug of ale for himself. So like what we'd cover, like a half pint for himself, which is basically a beer barrel with a handle. So,
Nice.
he can't quite get his head around what he should be giving you. So basically, you just get a big mug out. He just fills it up for you because he keeps on thinking, "Oh, the cups are so small. I must keep topping them up because you keep emptying them."
Benjin's in his happy place.
Again.
Are we making
He's
this a
taking
drinking
all
game?
my willpower not to fly up to that room.
Because you think there might be books up there.
Absolutely. If he's studying up there, there are books up there. I want to see them.
You can
And I can absolutely fly.
when you're standing on the ground floor and looking up, you can just make out a couple of bookcases alongside the wall. So there are definitely books up there.
Oh,
So close.
not so close.
The cleric's got his
You
itch.
say close.
Nice.
So I said it takes a while. It's quite a pleasant journey. As you get around, every so often you can look down out, and you see basically the surrounding countryside of the Sword Coast. You take a direct route over Ardite Forest. You see this huge forest. Every so often you can see little clearings in the trees where you can see these strange ruins in the forest, but you can't. It's so high up, you can't see much detail from them.
Okay.
And it's not long before you leave Ardite Forest behind you and follow the river kind of northeast. And Zephyros tells you that you're heading towards Goldenfields. It's towards the end of the second day when you're on the Cloud Tower, when one of you, Zanhorn,
Yes.
is just sitting on the edge of the cloud, his feet dangling over the edge, going, I could write a song about this. Trying to get a muse when you see coming from the north, but in the sky, what at first looks like just a red sphere.
Okay.
And it's definitely coming towards you. No. It's the sun's like high above you. This is almost looks like a children's toy ball heading, perfectly spherical, heading towards you. As it breaks through the clouds, you can just make out a few more details as it comes closer and closer and closer. And it's actually a large boat or small ship, would be to describe it, like a nautical vessel, but with a big red balloon hoisting it through the air and two sleds attached to the bottom of it.
Right.
And it's definitely got a course of heading straight towards you.
Okay. So I will jump up and peer to see if I can make out any more detail, or it's just too far away to make out much?
It's coming closer, so the longer you stand at it, you can make it out. It's basically like a combination between a ship and a hot air balloon. You can see like the balloon, which is tied down to the decking, and there's obviously sleds so it can land on land or sea.
Okay.
And you can just see it's not like a big ship. It's for ship-wise, it would be like a riverboat kind of ship.
Right.
And you can see a couple of bodies on the deck, and all you can see at the moment is they're just dressed in dark clothing. That's all you can make out. But as I said, it's definitely heading. It's set a course directly for you. It's coming straight for head on.
I'll yell up to the guys in the castle bit. Guys, we've got some company.
I rush out there and immediately start sketching down this thing because it looks brand new and exciting.
It is something you've probably never seen before. And it definitely is. The best way to describe it would be an airship, because it is a ship in the air.
Benjin has another swig of beer before walking out.
Holding the barrel with both hands. Drinking Zephyros's slops.
Oh.
Ugh.
There's got 3 pints left in that barrel.
What do you think it is, Cenza?
It could be any number of things. I'm not aware of any airborne races, bar the cloud giants off the top of my head, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. Can I make a history check or anything along those lines?
Yeah, you can make a history check.
Cool.
Nice.
You have heard of various people making flying ships of various types, but there's nothing distinctive about this which gives you any information about who it is or where it's from. It's various forms of magic you know of. Some of them are actually enchanted them to actual normal ships to fly. They're rare.
Sky pirates!
Arr.
It's always a possibility.
Oh no, we're in the air. It'd be level, wouldn't it? Not up there.
Can we no, down, Benjin. Can we yell up
How
to
many
our
of them can I see? Have I got double vision yet?
Depends how much you've drank.
A lot.
As it's coming closer, you can start to see there are several individuals on deck. So it's hard. It's still quite hard to make out. Probably about more than 5 from this distance.
Can we yell up to our hosts and say, do you ever meet anyone out here?
He kind of sticks his head out of the kind of balcony that's on the first floor. There's, oh, this is interesting. This is a new development. Oh, I don't know. Oh, best look our best, eh? We have visitors.
Sandhorn will adjust his attire a little bit and make sure that he's looking particularly heroic, ready to greet.
I'm going to turn around to the others and go, did he only just see them when you called him out? Does he actually know which way he's flying?
Maybe he can only fly or look out at one at a time.
Maybe he just doesn't care.
Or that.
So, after a while, it definitely comes in, gets level with the floating island, and lands on a clear area in your view. And a little kind of gangplank and rope bridge kind of thing, hatch kind of goes out, and the individuals start making their way off. And 8 crew members, or 8 people, step off this airship. And a bit closer, you can now see this thing, and it is effectively like a hot air balloon, but you can see that the balloon itself appears to be made out of some kind of leather or hide.
Okay.
And has been dyed bright red. It is bright red, this thing. But the rest of it looks like a normal wooden boat, but with a couple of sleds on the bottom. These individuals that come off, they're all wearing black cloaks, and they've all got masks covering their faces. All the masks are fashioned to look like dragons. And the one person steps forward and they're obviously wearing finer cloaks and a much more detailed dragon mask.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't see her features. She might be elven based on her features, but it's quite hard to tell because all you can really see is that the eyes are quite dark and you can see her mouth. And she goes, greetings, and bows, and then all the other people in cloaks bow as well to you. We wish to speak to the master of this tower.
Zanhorn will step forwards and do a very elaborate bow, like "Hail and well met." It's nice to always meet some new friends. We're friends, right?
I take it you are not the master of this tower?
He's just coming. He's just putting the ship cloud thing into neutral.
Then
I'm
lead
just
the
gonna
way.
keep my hand on my sword while this is going on.
They all kind of seem quite aloof. They're all standing quite straight and very formal. You can see one or two of them are looking you up and down.
Zanhorn will
And
try and discreetly stand slightly taller.
you
And
hear
lead them in.
Zephyros's voice come from like upstairs. Go, lead them into the main room, please.
Zanhorn will do that.
So you lead them into like the main floor, which is the floor with the big table with a chair
How
behind
many
it.
were there?
There were 8 of them in total,
Eight.
and they all kind of form an orderly, like a nice little triangle almost, with this one woman with the more ornate mask in the front. And Zephyros does his grand entrance in the same way he did with you, so floats down from the ceiling above and bows to them all and says, "Greetings and welcome to my abode."
Zanhorn's going to take some notes about that and learn to fly. Impressive.
I am Zephyros, Cloud Giant Mage of the Giant's Court. To what do I owe this pleasure? To which the woman steps forward and goes, "Greetings, Zephyros. I represent the mighty Clouth."
Hello, hello.
Naming about any bells?
Wasn't Clouth the baddie? The opposing giant that we were trying to overthrow?
Do you want to do a history check, see if you recognise the name?
I can give that a shot.
You've heard the name Clouth as a dragon. That's all you
Dragon,
know.
that was it.
We represent mighty Clouth, the terror of the north. Our great master wishes to make an agreement.
Do go on.
Our master has seen much trouble in the future between his race and yours. He believes that tensions are rising, and he wishes to make an agreement to share knowledge and information so that the threat may be minimized. So all the way through this, Zephyros is like stroking his wispy long beard and is nodding. "Oh, okay." Nods to you and goes, "Oh, what do you think? Thoughts?" But this, the woman in the front kind of frowns and goes, "Who are these people?" And Zephyros goes, "Oh, these are my advisors. They're here they're my counsel."
Zanhorn will step forward and just go, you mean you've never heard of the Champions of Chance?
At this point, Benjin has to step back and get his medication.
It's probably for the best.
I don't think we have, no. Should we have?
Of course, we're known throughout the lands. And I dare say, if we're not already known to you, we shall be very well shortly.
In all fairness, he did only decide on a name a couple of days ago. You may also know us as the Heroes of Waterdeep.
Indeed, yes.
So she turns back to one of her subordinates and they start scribbling down some notes. Okay. Anyway,
If you've
I
got a
don't like
moment,
the idea of someone else scribbling down notes, so I just start randomly scribing something down myself.
if it helps, I've got a few songs, a few ditties that I could explain our incredible travels with.
I'm sure that would be lovely.
Zanhorn will get his flute out. That's the moment she says that.
As a token of his gesture, Klaus presents a gift to you, mighty giants. She kind of gives a nod, and one of the servants pulls out a small pouch and hands it to her. She steps forward and she says, "I present a pouch of pixie dust, a magical item I'm sure you'll appreciate." Zephyros is still stroking his beard and goes, interesting. Would you allow me a few moments to discuss this with my council? Of course. With that, she takes another nod and she heads back out of the castle. So, what do you think?
What does pixie dust do?
Well, I think I don't know. Let me have a look. He opens it up and goes, okay, yes. I believe it can be used as a substitute for some material magical components. It's also, when imbibed or sprinkled on an individual, it can have an effect, though my understanding is such things can be a little bit unpredictable, shall we say. So, what do you think?
I have to admit, I'm a little bit suspicious.
Sorry about that.
I have never heard of any dragon willingly parting with
Anything.
Anything, quite frankly, especially not a magical item of, as you say, some power.
Well, it's probably quite low power compared to what Klauth has in his collection.
A dragon would not see it that way, I fear. I believe the psychology of a dragon is once you have something, you never give it back.
Now, does that mean that Klauth is tricking us? Does that mean that these people are tricking us? Or does that mean that Klauth is desperate?
Or does it mean that these people aren't even with Klauth?
Well, they do wear all the markings of the dragon cult.
That's true.
And they did come here on an airship. One does not merely wander across such an item.
True. One would probably fly across it, but
Of course. So are you saying I should not take this agreement?
did any of us get a sense that these people are in any way hostile? Did they seem genuine to us?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, can I get in on that?
Yeah. As far as you're concerned, everything they said appeared genuine.
It wouldn't hurt to at least hear what they're suggesting in terms of cooperation.
Okay, then. I think if it's just a simple trade of information, I'm sure this will work. Okay, then. Thank you very much for your counsel. You may enter.
Welcome.
So the dragon cultists come back in. And have you reached a decision, mighty giant? Zephyros goes, I believe that information is of useful to both parties, and as you have rightly said, there are going to be some rising tensions, and no doubt dragons and giants will get caught in the crossfire. So I agree. I accept your gift, and I agree to any future information. Very well. With which she gives another nod, and another servant pulls a sack out and pulls what looks like a crystal ball out the sack and goes, this will allow you to communicate directly with our great master, Klauth the Terrible.
Klauth the Terrible. When I said this is a good idea.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We should now be on our way. With that, they all file out and head back to the airship and cast off.
Well, that was random.
Indeed.
It was rather, wasn't it?
The crystal ball, does that seem okay? Do we get any bad vibes from it, or?
Well, give me 10 minutes. I can have
Zephyros is quite happy with it and seems to just pocket it straight away.
All right.
He goes, I understand your suspicion. Don't worry. I have some magic available myself. I'd make sure that Klauth isn't trying to trick me. Besides, I wouldn't want to get in Klauth's bad side if I can help it.
You've met Klauth before, then? You know of him?
No, I know of him. I've not met him.
And what have you heard of him?
Well, He's one of the great worms of the north, as they call them.
The great what? Worms?
Worms. Dragons.
Oh.
One of the great dragons of the north. Extremely powerful. Supposed to be an extremely powerful spellcaster. I wouldn't mind getting some information about spells of him, that's for sure. Whether he'd share them or not is a different matter.
So exactly the sort of individual that a hero would probably have met, presumably with some incredible stories, no doubt.
No doubt. Though I can't think of many people that have met him on bad terms, especially and survived. Just like many of the great dragons. It's quite rare to meet one of those and tell a tale. That's why they're so shrouded in mystery.
Or Zanhorn will look around at his compatriots and be like, well, we've never come across anyone who disliked us, so I'm sure it'll go fine.
No. I'm going to ask him, talking of dragons, have you heard of Fergalas? Is he a great dragon?
Felglass. His stories are great. I've heard of Felglass, yes. I've met him before, actually. He's popped into this tower once or twice. Well, I say popped in. Crashed into it would be a better description. He does seem to have the weirdest look, you know. He seems to get lost, but then he'll suddenly find where he needs to be.
Oh.
They call him the Flying Misfortune, you know.
I can see why.
Delightful chap, though. Delightful.
He seemed pretty nice to me.
Has a little chuckle to himself. Probably a good thing. He didn't. I didn't fly him.
Drunken flying a dragon. What could go wrong?
So,
Well, I believe immolation, devastation, crashing.
Yeah, okay. There's a few things that could go wrong.
So, if we are quite finished, I'll continue piloting this abode to Goldenfields.
I'm gonna just blatantly say to him in Giant, what has he got up there? What's
this is
the upstairs level?
It's just my personal quarters, my study, the method of controlling this this tower, and then above that the aviary or the airy, where I keep my pet cat.
My learned friend here likes books. Do you have any books that he can read?
Oh, he switches back to go from giant to common and goes, oh, what kind of books are you interested in?
Any?
All of them.
All of them. I'm a librarian by trade.
Well, I have over 500 research journals in my study. Most of which are covering my details of the Moonshade Isles. I'm rather fascinated by them, and I hope to return to them very soon, actually.
How fascinating.
Zanhorn will reach over and just close Cenza's mouth.
Well, would you be interested in reading one of them? While away the hours?
Yes, please.
I'll start you off on my guide to the Western Isles, shall I?
Yes, please.
So he levitates back up and comes back down with a book, which of course is a giant-sized book. And basically puts it on the floor for you to read. And it's all been written in giant script as well. But it's like...
I'm going to say sarcastically, do you need me to turn the pages for you?
I might need you to translate as well.
I've just got this image of Cenza like lying on the floor like a small child with a book that's like way too big for him.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, and even though I don't actually understand it, I'm just meticulously copying it down. The day when I return home and
I mean, I've got nothing better to do. I'm happy to sit there and sort of help translate or read bits of it, give him the rough gist, and then he can decide which bits he wants in more detail as well.
Now, Benjin, I don't mean to be rude because you've been very kind in persuading our friend Zephyros to let me have access to this book, but can you actually read?
I don't know, can I? I presume I can.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
read.
actually, no, because I must be able to. I grew up in a relatively unbarbarian tribe.
Fair enough. Thank you.
I know. I won't take it personally this time. You're lucky I'm sober.
He's only had the 4 barrels of ale.
Yeah.
So
So
we all
Go on.
seem to be getting quite a nice boon out of this adventure. I'm getting a lovely book to read. Benjin's getting plenty
Drunk.
of ale. Zanhorn is getting plenty of opportunities to be a hero. This seems good.
Oh, you know, it comes naturally.
Is there anything as I'm sort of scanning it for him and giving the rough gist? Is there anything of interest that
All of it.
could be read further?
this
Or
in
all right,
particular
what is the
book,
rough gist of the book?
this book is all about Snowdown Mountain and the various forms of flora and fauna that live on it, the granite and rocks that build it, the attempt to build a railway up its sides.
Snowdown.
I'm not making that shit up. It's actually called Snowdown Mountain. The railway stuff is my added.
It isn't actually Snowdonia then.
A lot of the Moonshay names are quite Welsh.
Yeah, okay.
It's actually Snowdown Mountain.
What? Sorry, the moon.
Moonshay.
Moonshay.
Moon Shae. Moonshay Isles. It's about. I don't think it's even on that map, is it? Yeah, it's further down. It's further down off this map, way off this map.
Right.
Okay, so after absorbing the details of this book and lots of things that Cenza finds very fascinating.
I am proficient in nature, so yes.
Yes. It's another day passes and it's about lunchtime, about midday, when Zephyros finally comes down and says, "Well, gentlemen, we are approaching Goldenfields. Now, to avoid startling the local populace, as they do get a little bit twitchy when a cloud giant's castle appears above the town, I'm going to drop you off a few miles south."
I was going to say,
That's
imagine
not a
that.
bother.
Who would get twitchy about a cloud castle floating towards a group of people? Oh, these people, they must be, cowards.
Now I must go find your friends up in the north.
Oh, you've heard of them?
Well, yes, the voices have told me I need to speak to them as well. So
Oh
I shall
dear.
be making my way to Bryn Shander next, I believe.
The one that looks a bit fiery, don't take him with a pinch of salt. He's a little bit abrasive sometimes. Just don't provoke him.
Oh, nothing of the sort. I'm not a big fan of conflict, I must admit.
Good.
Anyway.
And
I
while
shall
you're
know
at
it,
it, watch yourself with the with the rogue. If there's anything that you might not want to lose, I'd suggest maybe putting it somewhere safe. He's quite light-fingered, let's say.
Well,
He's
I
also
say,
very small.
He
I
is.
came to say if he could catch and carry anything away, well.
He'll
Anyway,
try.
I must bid you farewell.
Well,
Good luck with your endeavours, and may the All-Father guide your way.
it was nice to meet you too.
Oh.
And as we
Thank you, mighty Zephyros.
as we wander back out of his castle, I'll say to the other guys, God, why don't we always meet nice people like that?
Hang on. He hasn't left yet, has he? The horses! We run back up the stairs. We go to the stables, we get the horses.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get out the stairs, and he has basically dropped you off on. I wouldn't call it a road, but there's a definite track, which he's told you to kind of head north easterly, which should take you to Goldenfields. and about mid-afternoon, no, early afternoon, really, because you're about an hour away.
Mm-hmm.
You approach.
Oops. Sorry.
The
What a quaint-looking village.
Yeah, you approach the edge of Goldenfields, and at first you see these some buildings on the outside, but then once you see gone past these original buildings, you kind of just get in awe of what you're actually seeing, because what at first looked like a little village is just something on the outskirts of a massive walled complex. So there's 60-foot high walls and a huge gatehouse in front of you, and the walls are going as far as the eye can see to the left, and as far as the eye can see to go to as far as the eyes can see to the right.
Wow.
Hanging from the pennants at the entrance to the gate of the massive gatehouse are these flags, which are green in colour, with a silhouette of a white stag on top of them.
Okay.
Okay. Does the heraldry ring any bells? Mean anything?
Might do to me.
Somebody might know what it is.
That's the insignia of the Emerald Enclave. And I point to the green, very small version of it on my chest that they may or may not have noticed previously.
Zanhorn will peer in like, what is that?
Yeah. What?
So it's a very small little green. Well, it's not that small actually, but green symbol with a stag's head on it.
What's the significance?
So that this shows I'm a member of the Emerald Enclave. And do you know anything about them?
Do we know anything about
Do
them?
we?
No, do you know it? I'm asking you. Benjin is asking you. Do you know anything about them?
You can make a history check if you want to know. You might know about them. If you spent any time in Waterdeep. Okay, see, you will have heard of the Emerald Enclave.
Whoa!
Right, okay.
Oh!
I was going to say, if not, I can explain.
So
Please do, 'cause apparently I know everything.
Yeah.
Zanhorn would know of them as a group of. The best way to describe them is kind of like Faerun's Greenpeace.
Yeah.
They're kind of they're interested in keeping the natural order, so they're obsessed with the natural world. So wildlife preservation. Their members are usually kind of druids and rangers, that kind of thing. So they're not interested in the cities at all. They're just like in the wilderness and want to keep the balance of things. So like, if I don't know, gnolls are attacking a town, they'll look after the crops and things like that, or orcs from taking down a forest, or a dragon from draining a lake, that kind of thing. They're very interested in just kind of keep this natural balance and everything
That's
in
what I was
check.
going to say. Yeah, we're not against cities or anything. It's all about the balance of things and it not going too far one way or the other.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a reasonably noble venture.
Yeah.
Indeed, balance in all things is a teaching of the Ogmanites as well.
I mean, it doesn't sound very heroic, or like it would get you very famous, but but noble, I suppose.
There's a lot of you say that there's a lot of protecting towns and things from raiding orcs. Kind of how I ended up, maybe on my arse a bit last time, because I'm used to having sometimes a couple of others behind me, maybe of similar strengths to myself occasionally.
But you've got us with you.
Well, yeah.
I believe our strengths lie in different areas, maybe.
Zanhorn looks slightly hurt by that comment. Like, I did save your life several times.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen anyone else. I mean, would I be surprised to see the insignia hanging from a town, given that a lot of the Emerald Enclave work in 1s and 2s? Very few and far between.
Based on your because you tend to live further north, you would be surprised to see it on a place like that. Yes. However, Goldenfields you may recall you've heard of Goldenfields before or something like that.
Oh, have I? Okay.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about it then?
Not really, no, because you've come from much, much further north. So all you know, it's got something to do with farming, and that's it.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
we go in.
yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
I'll make my insignia
Desolation,
bit clearer.
desolation, collapsing towers.
I'll
Orc
move some of
attack.
the furs out the way that may or may not be covering it, because and I tell the others, not only do the Emerald Enclave normally have a symbol like this, but most of us actually wear or would wear bright green clothing. I'm sort of on the edge, so I don't wear the clothing.
Zanhorn will like look you up and down and be like, yeah, well, I suppose there's always a few misfits, right?
You could say that.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you head towards the gate.
Yeah.
And it's a big gatehouse, and the main gate is open, but it's you can see there's like a second gate to the gatehouse is kind of shut. And as you approach, a couple of armed guards move towards you. Hello there.
Hail.
Hey,
You're right.
What business have you in Goldenfields?
Zanhorn will nudge Benjin.
I'll just point to my symbol and just say Emerald Enclave business.
No worries, sir. Of course, we'll have to search your bags, please.
Really? Are you sure?
Yes. This is as you're fully aware, this is a farming community. We can't let any stray seeds, pests, or anything else in. Just make sure you're not bringing anything in that could harm our crops. That's all, sir.
Zanhorn,
I start to get a little bit worried now because I've still got the rock.
I thought, did you have it or did I have it?
I thought I had it.
I'll take it off my inventory then.
Okay. What do we? I'll look to the others and try and gauge their opinion.
It is a logical request.
Zanhorn will really unsubtly just go.
Right.
Fine.
I'll take the lead. I'll show them, and I'll say, of course, I should have remembered. It's been a while.
And a lot of
since,
ales.
I saw my my friends, and I'll open my bag up and show it to them.
As they're starting to rummage through, you notice a rather portly gentleman comes down. What's this? Visitors? Searching them properly? Good. And then seems to just wander back off. Just has a quick look at you. And you can overhear him say, anyone important? Wanderers, you say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do look a bit scruffy, don't they?
Scruffy.
Oh, well. Again.
I've got visions of Stephen Fry in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yes. Well, he's better dressed than that. He's got better hair, but yeah, personality-wise, you're not far off, actually. Yeah. Oh well, go grab me get my attention if anyone important comes along, won't you? I'm gonna get some lunch.
Zanhorn will step forward. It's like, I'm sorry, someone important. You've not heard of the Champions of Chance, then?
He turns to you, raises his eyebrow, and goes, "Should I have?"
Zanhorn will start pulling his flute out to start a song of their exploits.
Are you going to sing us that song? I noticed you penning on the cloud.
Oh, that one's not ready yet.
Oh.
It's more musings at this point. That particular ditty.
Are you starting to do a ditty then? Are you?
Yeah, Zanhorn will, because no
Will
one
you make-
stopped him.
Make a performance roll then.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
So put off by that comment of the guy. That was a 2.
You'd see the guys kind of like, hurry us along. Come on, get them in. Shut him up for crying out loud.
Yeah,
Well, the
tough
guy
crowd.
going through Benjin's stuff goes to the bottom and picks out a couple of dried mushrooms. Look, mate, I know these are probably for your personal consumption, but I can't let them in. Mushrooms, fungus.
I didn't even know I had them in the bottom of my bag. I thought they all went in the other food.
Obviously,
That's
a couple
all right.
of slipped by in your lay.
I wink at him. I wink at him and I go, enjoy them at your own time.
Yeah, don't worry, they won't get into the city. Won't come to the gatehouse after 9.
Gatehouse.
As before we head off,
Nine.
can we ask them who the chap was that we met a moment ago? The rude guy.
The rude guy, you're told by
Unappreciative
one...
audience.
Appreciative audience. Apparently, that was a Waterdavian noble. That's noble. That is, some big cock from Waterdeep. Hansenus Tarm, his name is.
Would Zanhorn have recognised him from his courting the courts?
You might have heard of the Tarm name. In fact, yes, you probably would have heard of. You would have heard people gossiping around him. You seem to hear everyone. You remember at one of the parties, the rest of his family were extremely proud he'd been given this role as the Castellan of Goldenfields. And as soon as his family had wandered off, everyone else kind of went, "Oh God, that's a shit job." Basically, they just give it to anyone. It's just for show, just for idiots.
Zanhorn will be like, you see, no culture, this chap. That's why I didn't appreciate that.
Because they've rushed you through a bit, they don't manage to find a particular item in Cenza's package, in bags.
Good.
So I'm going to ask them as well before we go. I'm going to ask them obviously about the Enclave. I'm going to ask them say, it's been a while since I've seen them, and how many of my brothers and sisters, or would I refer to them as that? How many of my friends are here, and where would we find them, and why are they here?
Hundreds. This is the biggest farm in the Sword Coast.
Wow.
10 square miles of crops and orchards.
Huge tracts of land.
Get tracts of land.
But I don't mean how many people are here. I mean how many people from the Enclave are here. Or are they all from the Enclave?
About half. There's loads of workers for the fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Enclave people basically run the show. If you want to speak to the Enclave, you want to head to the Abbey, because the Abbot's the chief boss. He's the person in charge of the Enclave staff.
Right.
But you've got horses you want to stabled. You want to head to the Tavern, which is just past the centre of town. It's the only tavern in the entire area. And if you head there, you'll be able to stable up for the night.
What's it called?
It's called. Steve needs to get the right book in front of him. It is called the North Furrows End.
And I'm going to say to him, I presume being a farming town and growing lots of grain, this is going to have some pretty good ale and mead and...
Pretty good, sir. We've got the Golden Gulp Brewery. You will not taste a finer beer. Again, we grow all the hops and barley on this site. They're the finest ingredients in all of Faerun.
Do they have a brewery tap?
Well, if you go to the North Furrows End, I believe that Miros will even give you your first pint for free.
Wow. Okay. Miros, is that who runs the tavern?
You can't miss him. He looks like a yeti. Some kind of birth defect. He's got hair all over his face.
And are they interested in performers?
Well, they might be. Depends how drunk that halfling gets.
Which halfling's that?
There's a halfling that plays there. He plays every night. Oren. Problem is, he usually gets a bit drunk himself, which means he can get some nice rowdy songs going, but it also means that the quality of the performance drops as the evening goes on.
Well, you know, not everyone's a professional.
No, of course.
Okay.
So now we have our paladin back.
Ta-da!
So you've just entered the fortified farm of Goldenfields. Several miles of farmland, including crops, orchards, and such like, surrounded by 60-foot high walls that cover the entire region. And you've just been patted down. You haven't had as thorough a search as I think the guards of the gatehouse would have liked, because Zanhorn decided to start singing a ditty, which was awful.
How dare Maybe it was deliberately awful.
Yeah, maybe. So the guards kind of like pushed you through, and a bit of don't you know who I am secret badge wearing from Benjin also got you through quicker. So you open out to like a town square, almost like an entrance square. And right in front of you is a 20-foot tall wooden statue to Shanto or Shantia, which is the most of you actually recognise is like the Earth Mother goddess. So it kind of looks like this plump, youngish woman standing with her hands on her hips, and she's surrounded with like bounty. So she's standing like there's like fields of wheat. She's got a cornucopia overflowing with fruit, and like all bits of her clothing and hat and all that is all made up of different bits of food.
Okay.
Now the other thing you can see is there's a road heading straight in front of you. So if you look on the map, so you're kind of here at this point. So there's roads going to your left and right, and there's a road going ahead of you. And the guards have given directions that the Abbey and the Tavern are all kind of ahead, more towards the centre of Goldenfields.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tavern is here, which is where the stables are, and the Abbey's here, and then this is the town square here. So the only other things you notice in this kind of area you're in is there's like a big shop front just off this kind of, it's basically a roundabout in front of you, because you can see this statue's right in the center of the road, and you can see tracks through the road where carts and things, and you can see actually every so often somebody comes through with a cart full of like horsemen. A cart full of manure goes one way, a cart full of grain goes another way, or barrels of apples or that kind of thing. There's definitely a flurry of activity as you go through the town.
Okay. What sort of time of day is it?
It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Okay. Ooh.
So the other thing you notice, I said, is this big shop with a big, nicely carved wooden sign outside that says Earth Mother's Bounty. And just off to the side, you can see two people in not quite an argument yet, but definitely raised voices and a deep discussion going on. So there's a youngish woman and what looks like she's wearing like robes, and a half orc in armor, but the armor only just fits because this guy has put on, he's got quite a big belly basically. You can see that the armor is basically keeping his gut in. You can just see it bulging out like a muffin top at the sides.
Is it the armor? Does the armor have any insignia? Is he wearing a uniform, or is he just in armor?
It's definitely a uniform. It looks like it's been polished, so okay. It's quite nice, and you can see it's engraved with this stag head symbol that you're seeing in other areas as well.
Well, we came here to find the monks, right?
The monks? We came here to pass a message on, to spread word about that village that's dying.
Nightstone.
Nightstone, that's the one. We need to send them aid. That's all we're doing here.
That too, yeah.
We were originally here to find out where those giants had taken the Nightstone as well, but our Zephyrus friend has told us where to go anyway, so we don't need to know that anymore.
True.
True. That's all we need. We just need to pass a message, send help to Nightstone, and then we go.
As you're discussing this, you can hear this conversation going on, and the woman is kind of berating this guy. This is massive half orc in armor, and she's like, and as you're doing this, the halfling woman comes out the shop with a broom and starts sweeping the stair.
I guess, should we go chat to the orc? Say hi?
He's clearly doing his job. He's, for whatever reason, it doesn't concern us. What concerns us are the starving villagers. Remember the starving villagers that you were berating us for not saving soon enough? The ones that were eaten by the goblins? Remember those? Those are the ones we're still trying to help.
The ones that we fed.
We fed one
2 days
more
ago, okay, yeah.
2 days ago, one more. Right? There's a woman having an argument with a half-orc who clearly works here. What concern of that is ours?
We've got to tell someone, right?
As you're having this discussion, those of you not in the argument can see that the halfling is brushing the step. He's kind of trying to listen into both conversations at once and kind of looks back and forth between two of them and then just decides, looks at you and goes, "Morning.
Good morning.
Can I interest you in some seeds?"
Seeds, no, but do you know who would be the governor of this place that we could talk to? Because there's a village a little south of here that is in desperate need of some aid. And we, being the champions of chance, are here to rescue them, of course. Zanhorn's back on board.
Well, I think you've come to the right place, haven't you? Well, I mean, I've got seeds here in the shop. We can take back and grow some plants for you, all kinds of things. Some nice, lovely, fresh pumpkins.
That would be a great
Maybe some
help.
corn or some wheat. I could interest you in a cornucopia, some fresh fruits and vegetables to take back.
We were hoping that we could arrange for some people here to take the food. We have urgent business, but we need food for now, and we need to be able to establish a new trade route. There will, of course, be payment. We're not expecting this for free, or they're not expecting this for free, but they do need immediate help.
Right then. So you probably want to speak to the abbot then.
There we go.
If you say so. Right. You were close with monks. Well done. I think that was more lucky than anything else, though.
Well, if you are interested, if you do need some seeds, I've got a massive selection available. I can grow you anything. Apples, like you've never seen, pears, a bit of strawberries. Would you like some strawberry seeds?
I'm sure.
Why don't you take some samples back with you? I've got a nice little package that you can take with you.
Please do give me a little sachet, yes.
Well, what is it you're interested in? Do you have to in some
Strawberries.
kind of...
Strawberries.
Right, some fruits. She scurries in, back very pleased with herself, and comes back with this little paper envelope. Right, there's about 4 different breeds of strawberries there. It's a bit of potluck.
That's very good. I'm sure
Nice
I will notice
sunny
the
spot,
difference.
plenty of compost, and there's plenty of water
Now,
as well.
one more thing before
Lovely.
we go for this habit, just to help my interfering half-elf bardic friend here.
Friend sounded awfully tough to say then.
Please, who is that half-orc and who is that woman?
Right then. Well, the orc there, that's Strog Thunderblade.
Of
Now,
course.
he's in charge of defense of this entire town.
Good.
So all of Goldenfields comes under his defense. Now that means he is in charge of all the militia and all the soldiers. And if
I understand what defense is, yes.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. Just making sure, dear.
No, I'm a soldier. I understand duty and defense and stuff. Now, and who is she?
Now, I believe that's Z. She's one of the monks, one of the acolytes. Very hot-headed. She is always chastising Sturm. She thinks he does a horrible job.
Right. Okay. That's wonderful information. Thank you, good lady halfling. I
So-
bid you a very good day. Let's please get away from her. And
Zanhorn will be like, so what you're saying is, before Var
Let's-
can hurry him along, so what you're saying is, if you wanted to get aid to another place, and if you wanted to find out some information from the monks, those two people would probably be the perfect pair of people to go and talk to, right?
Well,
she
if
would be
you're-
the perfect person to. Let's go.
If,
Zanhorn will stride off quite triumphantly.
So she's like, oh. Right, so what are you doing, guys?
I just sigh.
Right. Let's head over and speak to this young lady monk, and hopefully stop her getting into further trouble with the captain of the guard here, and ask her to escort us to the abbot post haste.
So as you're getting closer, you can see she's basically chastising him. She's saying, "And what if they come back? Those walls are not prepared. We are desperately unprepared for this, and your men are doing nothing to do it. And you are doing nothing. You're just sitting on your backside drinking beer." And he just seems to be taking this like all this stride. He goes like calming her down, like patting the air to calm her. No, it's fine. It's fine. They won't come back. Everything's under control, lass. Everything's fine. Our walls almost reach the sky.
Who won't come back?
Sorry.
I was just curious, who won't be coming back?
She turns and she goes, "Giants. That's who."
Wow, you've been attacked by them then?
Well, he goes, before she jumps in, he goes, "There was a few giants 2 months ago who tried to attack the southeastern wall. They couldn't get past the wall. Even giants couldn't get over."
Sounds
They
like
could
these
if they were in a
walls-
flying castle.
Shh.
So at this point, the girl goes, "Flying castle. See, I mean, we might as well just get. That's it. I'm speaking to the mage. We need to sort something out there here." And she
It
storms
sounds-
off at this point. She starts storming off.
As she starts
then,
storming off,
boys.
Zanhorn will be like, "What you need to the Oh, never mind."
So it's the half orc at this and Strong. He just kind of chuckles and goes, "Oh, quite hot tempered that one." The accent's gone all over the place. I do apologise. Quite hot tempered that one.
Yes.
I'm just going to keep my hand on my sword. He might be one of the Enclave, but he's still a half orc.
That's borderline
Sort of
racism.
holding it in. I'm
Benjin.
holding it.
But not borderline at all.
Borderline.
Zanhorn will look over at Benjin and point at him and kind of cover what he's up to. But he's going to send a little magical message. Just don't kill him. Just hold off. Just hold Benjin.
What was,
See,
what was the name of the
Yeah, exactly.
orc captain?
Strog Thunderblade.
Strog Thunderblade.
It's a strong name.
Strog, I'm taking notes. Okay. Strog Thunderblade, I believe you are the captain of the guard here at Goldenfields.
Aye. I am.
I must say I'm very impressed with these walls and your defences. Even some upstanding citizens such as ourselves were greeted with reproach and caution and a thorough searching. Your men are to be congratulated for their diligence.
He looks rather proud of this and kind of. "Yes, finest troops in all of the north.
Yes,
Waterdeep's finest."
as a military man of many years, I can see this. I can see this plain across their faces. Everybody seems happy and content, except for maybe one or two individuals who will never be convinced of their safety to fight massive walls that defended against giants of all things.
Zanhorn will be a bit like, wow, that is quite a story. This guy's good.
Level 16 charisma, guys. I work for.
I mean, it's no level 18, but.
So tell me, my good man, we are here to send aid to Nightstone, but tell me, are you also in need of any? Is there any truth to what she says? Is there any risk to your bountiful town here?
She's hot-headed. She's young. She doesn't understand. As I said, 2 months ago, some giants started throwing some rocks at the walls. They didn't breach it. They didn't even try and climb over the walls. All they did was throw some rocks at it, and then got bored and wandered off.
Throwing them from the ground, yes?
Yes. Oh yeah, they were from the river from the southeast. Didn't even get close to the walls. We had everyone on alert. We had our archers on standby. They threw some rocks. Didn't break down the wall. Got bored and wandered back off. Hill
Like
giants, I think.
Sounds like you had everything under control.
Yep. Of course we did. Nothing to worry about.
Let's hope they don't come back by any other means.
Please stop saying things like that, Benjin. You're going to scare people.
Nothing scares Benjin. Isn't that right, Benjin? Except us evil elves, they'll try and look at Benjin in the eye.
Yeah.
So we are on our way to see the abbot. We have a message of the most importance. The good people of Nightstone were viciously attacked by giants equally, and then furthermore by some goblins who even managed to capture and, believe it or not, eat some of them. Yes. These goblins and the giants between them laid waste to their small town, and they're in desperate need of help. We are hoping to arrange food and supplies, but a number of soldiers would certainly put my mind at rest to make sure that they were safe. And I'm sure good men like the ones you have around here would be more than capable of doing such a job.
I'm sure we could spare a few. You can't start cleaning a tusk. No, not my decision, unfortunately, that one. So you're probably best off speak. You'd need to speak to the abbot. That's who I talk to. Now you're obviously in a rush, gentlemen. Yeah, you're obviously in a rush. Why don't I take your horses and take him to the inn for the stables, and you can go straight to the abbot.
Certainly. Well, here's a gold piece. You get yourself a drink when you're off duty. You look like you've earned it, my good man.
Oh, thank you very much. He pockets that gold piece far too deftly.
That was Stark, was it?
That was yeah, it was Strog.
Strog Thunderblade.
How do we get our horses back? Do we need a valet ticket or?
No,
the barbarian's asking this.
He weighs you off. That's fine. There's not many people coming here with horses. Yours will be obvious in the stables.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so off to see the abbot, are we?
Hi ho, hi ho.
Well, that did sound like the first thing that we should have done.
It was well. You seemed unnaturally perturbed about the giants and the fighting and the little tiff between the soldier and the woman. It was worth investigating, wasn't it?
All right.
I'm begrudgingly saying you were right, John. Okay.
Zanhorn.
Sorry.
Zanhorn looks slightly more okay. Let's go and see the abbot then, shall we?
Good idea.
Okay, so you head down this road. When you approach this area here, you can see this is a huge amount of livestock pens. So you can make out in the distance like sheep and cows, but most of it is sheep and pigs at this point. As you
farmed or any wild caught like boar or
no, it's mostly this is all farms. It's all livestock. So yeah, it's all eating pigs kind of thing, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see large fields with chicken coops and that in the background. As you're approaching, you notice one of the shepherds seems to be kind of watching you as you come in, and just gives you a nod as you walk past.
All right, large.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. As you keep moving further into the village, you get to like another kind of, it's more like a roundabout. So there's almost like a little section of trees you pass. There's almost like a little wood. And you come to this kind of large roundabout, which is basically the town's set square. And all the buildings, which are not houses, but more like big lodges, are organised in like a big circle around it. And to the south, which is just here, is this large building which has got stained glass windows and a large bell tower. And images of Shantou, the earth goddess, all around it.
I'm going to guess that the abbot will be in there.
I think that's a safe bet.
That's
all the statues are kind of like built into the corners of the building. They're all Shantou, kind of raising their hands to the sky as if praying for rain. And everything's all beautiful with well-tended like shrubbery and hedges and such, like shrubbery.
With a little path running down the middle. Nice 2-layer effect.
So as you move it, as you walk in, the doors are open. I said people are milling around all around you here, like going about their daily business. As you walk in, it's like this. The main room is like a big church. So you've got like seats and benches all to one side, but there's still people like milling around and doing work in there. There's a massive ceiling. The stained glass windows have all got images of like fruit and bushels of corn and things like that. And then there's a huge, you can make out even from inside here like a huge bell tower, and you can see the huge bell at the end.
Children.
Phrasing, obviously.
I thought he was going to let it go for a second then, but no. Oh dear. So at the end, there's a huge bell. Yeah.
At the southern side of the building,
Very good.
there's a large bell. Now, a couple of things strike your mind. You can see there's various people milling around doing odds and sods. You can see, bizarrely as well, asleep to one side and then wandering around elsewhere, you notice 2 bears. So one seems to be having a nap, and then other ones just seem to be walking around. And every so often people just tap it or just throw it a bit of fruit.
Wow.
Fruit. Oh,
Maybe they're
yeah,
vegetarian.
maybe I had them mushrooms still.
Yeah, can I do a nature check to see if that's actually normal behaviour for a bear to be eating fruit?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, can you? Yeah.
Yeah, I
There we
looked a long way to find out.
Bears are omnivores. Yeah. They eat meat, they eat honey, they eat fruit, they eat whatever they can get their hands on. Picnic baskets is their favourite, of
Picnic
course.
baskets.
Zanhorn probably hasn't seen a bear before, has he? Having lived in the city for basically most of his life.
You might have done actually, because you might have seen bear baiting happen.
True.
So you might have seen one before, but they usually, what you've seen has been something ferocious. It's
Zanhorn will
dogs
be
attacking it.
eyeing them slightly warily.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Don't kill it. Please don't kill it.
no. I'll pull out one of my hand axes just ready, having obviously had an altercation with a bear in the past.
Are you wearing a bear skin? You're wearing actually bear fur, aren't you?
And yeah, and I've got
An altercation doesn't quite cover it, does it?
and I've got a bear claw around my neck. And
Yeah.
obviously I have got scar. Well, no, people wouldn't have seen the scars, would they? Or would they? I can't remember where the scars
Maybe
are.
seeing the edges of them, I think, from what you said before.
Yeah. Well, they're across my chest, so yeah. I'll just turn to them and go. Just gonna have this ready, and I'll just sort of show them my claw marks across there from the
Holy
bear.
shit!
Mm.
Is Zanhor be like, so the one that did that, is that the one that you're wearing?
Well, the furs aren't necessarily, but then I'll show them the necklace that's got the bear claw. Oh, it is a bearskin cloak actually. Yeah, I'll say yes. Yeah, it is. And here's the claw from the one that I fell, shall we say.
At which point Zanhor will be like, just remember, I know I slapped your horse on the bottom. I was doing that for your own safety to preserve your life. And I did bring you back to life. So,
You
no
did.
harm, no foul. There's no need to wear a Zanhorn, right?
Oh, no. I thought you meant you wanted protecting from this bear.
Zanhorn will be like, no, I wasn't. I was fine. I don't need to be protected. And then he'll just still take a slight step back again.
Yeah.
I would point out at this point there'd be highly unlikely to be wild bears roaming around inside what is an urban area.
True.
They're more than likely domesticated bears or even possibly polymorph druids.
Ooh.
Mm.
So, towards one end of the building, you can see this young lady who was having an argument with with Strog earlier, and she seems to be having a discussion with an older man in robes with a long white beard. And again, she seems to be rather agitated, and he seems to be again trying. You can see by his physical gestures, he's trying to calm her.
Is that going to be the abbot, do we think?
He is. They're both wearing kind of robes, and you can see several robed people working, wandering around. His robes do appear to be cut. More importantly, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let's go up and talk to this gentleman, or if not, the lady, and find out where the abbot is.
Okay, so as you get closer, you can hear. Go on, sorry.
No, I was just saying, indeed.
Okay, I thought you said Steve.
Yeah.
Sorry. As you get closer, you can hear again. She's complaining to this man, and she keeps on saying, like Strog is an idiot. He just sits on his backside, and just drinks beer all day. He said, "Don't worry, Z. Don't worry, Z. It's all in the hand. He has the defense of Goldenfields is fine. There's plenty of troops here. We've got bells on every watchtower. If anyone sees anything, everyone will see. But what if they come back, Abbott? It won't take much to just double the guard at night or keep watchtowers or something. See, it's fine. It's fine. Besides, we have guests. They don't need to know about our troubles, Z."
Good day.
Good day. May I be of assistance? Chanteau's blessing upon you.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, thank you. We are looking for the abbot of Goldenfields.
Ha! Then you have found him. I am Eldrin.
Well
I
met.
am the abbot.
Well met, Eldrin. My name is Haval Mashinin. I am a paladin, and I'm here to beseech your help on the behalf of the people of Nightstone.
We, the champions of chance, are here to.
We, the champions of chance.
Alternatively known as the heroes of Neverwinter,
Waterdeep.
But if you want to deal with me directly, that's fine.
He looks at you over and says, "Oh, welcome to Goldenfields." He notices Benjin is kind of still gripping tightly onto his axe, and he goes, "Previous issue is bears, have you, sir?"
Just a little. Oh, just
Don't worry, they haven't done anyone any harm yet.
yet.
It's very reassuring.
That's what concerns me.
It's fine. If they'd wanted to hurt someone, they would have. If they've even named them, just wandered in one day from the south. No one knows how they got in.
It's very similar to how we met Benjin, actually.
Weren't you just saying your walls are impenetrable?
Yeah.
Well,
surely that is a security breach. If two bears can just wander in.
Do you know what? I never really thought of that. I just assumed it was some druid having a joke on me. Hmm.
And how long ago? did they want
At this point, Z's got her arm crossed and is like, yes. How did they get in, Abbot? These people have a point. Oh, dear, Z, just... Okay, I will speak to Strog. We'll get him to do something. It's fine. I'll speak to him as soon as I've spoken with these gentlemen. We can go speak to Strog. We can get him to double the guard at night. Sorry, you were saying.
Well, you might want to
Nightstone.
speak to Strog tomorrow. I think he might be in the pub now.
Of course he will be. Of course. So it says he just sighs and just throws her hands up like working with idiots. It's fine. We'll get on it straight away, Z. It's we can deal with this. And besides, these people are obviously well kitted out. Any problems in the next few hours, these people will help us deal with, won't you? Of course you will.
We've dealt with dragons and giants and orcs and goblins.
There's not been a challenge that
And
the
dickheads.
champions of chance haven't been able to easily surpass.
Easily.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed.
Easily.
Sanhon will like try and kick them, like shut up.
So the matter in your hand, we can
The
discuss.
matter-
We can discuss this later, Z. The matter in hand. You were saying Nightstone.
Nightstone fell under attack first by giants, then by goblins, whereupon the townsfolk was kidnapped, taken to nearby caves. Some were eaten. We rescued them.
The ones that weren't eaten.
The ones that weren't eaten, of course. Then there was an attack by orcs, then mercenaries. They're in trouble. All their food supplies have gone. Their town is in ruins, and they need help urgently. They've got no food. They've got walls that are falling down, buildings that need to be rebuilt. We, on their behalf, beseech your help here from the good, fine people of Goldenfields.
Well, I can certainly help with the food side.
Thank you.
Now,
Very good.
timing isn't perfect. We're nearing high harvest tide, so it is harvest time. We are very busy, but I'm sure a druid or two we could send a druid or two over, and they'd be able to whip up some crops and foods for them to eat in no time.
That would be excellent. I spoke to Strog earlier. He thinks he can spare some soldiers to help. They will no doubt be put to good work rebuilding the walls, the defenses, homes, and of course keeping guard.
I will suggest that some accompany the druids, and they will set out first thing tomorrow.
That is a heavy weight lifted from my shoulder. Thank you very much.
Just one word of warning that we did intercept a band of orcs, a rampaging band of orcs. We dealt with them.
Yes, they're gone, dead now.
But just if you do travel south, just be on your guard. That's all.
Interesting. And whereabout was this?
South of the, what was the name of the forest?
Just off
Ardy.
Ardeep.
South of Ardeep.
They emerged from Ardeep Forest, having clearly met some of the elves.
Have you?
Z, go fetch our map, Z. Go fetch our, and Z wanders off. Interesting. Z comes back with a rollout map of the local region. It's a bit rough. So, you say these orcs were around the Ardeep Forest. Do you know where they had come from?
We believe they came from somewhere nearby, somewhere maybe slightly to the north, I believe.
From
I
the
believe the
Forlorn
owls.
Hills.
I believe the owls had encountered them in the forest, so logically, coming from the Forlorn Hills would have meant they would have travelled through the forest to get to Nightstone.
Yeah, the elves didn't. The elves, strangely, I mean, they're very polite folk. Didn't take didn't take lightly to people trespassing as they saw it in their woods.
No.
Which is weird because they were so polite to us.
Well, I believe there is an orc tribe in the Forlorn Hills. Ear Seekers, I think they are. Been a
That
war
would
with the
ring
elves for
true
some
with
time.
the individuals we
With the
met.
ears, yes.
Okay. I know they've been making raids against the elves for some time, but thankfully they've not got this far. I try and keep an eye on these things if I can. Keep
They did.
Strog updated.
They did seem most concerned with the happenings at Nightstone, sending a champion and a shaman with.
Hmm.
Interesting. I wonder what they were looking at.
Unfortunately, none were able to answer our questions on account of being dead.
Oh well, it's a shame, but never mind. Well, thank you for the information. It's useful to know.
Now, we couldn't help
Speaking
but
of
over here.
information,
Yes, I know that my friend Zanhorn here is always eager to help those in need. So if there's any assistance we could be of to you, then I'm sure he would love to write a song about it.
Oh, I'm
Zanhorn will
sure
get out his composing pad.
it's a busy time of year. If you can help us with some of the harvesting, I'm sure we'd appreciate that. And there will be a few men down if we take troops to. If Strog takes some troops to Nightstone, so I'm sure Strog can do with the help. If Z had anything to do with it, she'd want you patrolling the southwest walls and southeast walls, but I think we can sort that out later. I would actually say for now, I think it might be worth you speaking to Naxine. Naxine Drathkala. She's a mage sent to us by the Protectorate's Guild. Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors from Waterdeep. She might be able to get to send a message back to Waterdeep regarding these issues in Nightstone, and might be able to get some individuals in Waterdeep to send help as well.
That would be most fortuitous if she was able to, I think.
Absolutely.
Do we think, gentlemen, and kind of saying this more to the Champions of Chance, do you think we can spare a day here, or do we need to get hot on the tail of that Nightstone, flying Nightstone?
Zanhorn will be like, well, it seems like this place is pretty well fortified. Can't imagine that there's going to be a great deal going on here. And if it is, it's going to be harvesting crops. It doesn't sound very heroic.
It
Benjin
doesn't.
is going to say, golden gulp. That is all.
So, pub?
Well, we are asking them to, at their busiest time of year, to go take some crops down to Nightstone. So we are still, in effect, helping the starving people of Nightstone.
That's
I'm
true.
just saying,
An exchange of services is a logical payment.
maybe just we'll work the afternoon. We'll go to the pub. We'll work the following day. Go get back on our flying castle, and then
He's
One slight problem with that.
he's gone. He's gone to see the Tiefling and those others.
Yeah.
right. Okay, so we've got to walk the rest of the way.
He's off to see the
Right.
conning bastards.
I missed that bit. So we've got quite a walk on our hands, haven't we, to catch up with the Nightstone rock-throwing giants from the floating boat, haven't we?
I guess at least if we stuck around here, there might be a chance that we could find someone who'd maybe seen them heading north.
Okay. But we've got months until their plan hatches, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously the sooner we get ahead of that stuff, the sooner we can, be known as the sooner we can solve all the problems for the people.
Okay. So should we do one day here? One full day and then set off the morning after?
Sure. Okay.
So 2 nights.
Yeah.
2 nights. Okay. And that's going to be hard labour, Benjin. You ready for it? Hard farming labour.
Benjin can do hard farming later.
Zanhorn's looking at him and then looking at looking back at himself like, well, at least he's questioning Benjin. Wait,
I
was that
grew up-
sarcasm?
I just
What
needed
you
Benjin
don't
to
know,
agree
Harville.
first.
Harville, what you don't know about me is I grew up in a family of livestock herders and farmers.
This should
Now,
come as
there's a-
second nature to you then.
Yes.
Piece of piss.
In fact, you can do the work of, say, 4 men.
Well, 3 of them go and
Which
do
means
something
in
heroic.
Which means in total we can do the work of 7 men, maybe 6.
That's another way of looking at it.
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, let's go with the.
Harville's quite a big.
Yeah, I'm a strapping chap. I'm a bit old though.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, Harville.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably might not want to wear all that armor. Working on the farm, mind.
no, I don't take my armor off.
You're actually just really small inside there.
Yes, I've kind of spent half my life working inside in a hive, so it
I'm
could be
sure they'll
interesting.
I'm sure they'll need someone to write down the things that we are harvesting. I'm sure.
Yes,
you,
a scribe. Yes, very, very useful.
a farming
Proper
accountancy.
note taking.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't diss accountants.
Obviously, if there's a beat going on to music, we're going to be able to dig to the beat.
I'm not going to be listening to Zan.
Somebody please make a gif of that.
Okay.
Sandhorn's looking
I'm
more
just
positive
waiting
about
for
this
John
venture
to
now.
actually write some actual songs for Zanhorn,
Oh, don't.
and Kaz to walk in with her flute and start.
Okay, then back to the abbot.
Back to character.
Back to character. back to role playing, chaps. Okay, so we believe we can spare a few days to help you get back on track for the men that you are sending south, and then we must be on our way. We have urgent business to tend to.
Oh no, we lost you for a second then.
No, it was a bit crazy.
Okay, so where are your skills? Is it just hard labour you're interested in, or are you any experience in agriculture or?
Benjin, my
Farming.
friend here, is exceptionally skilled, very hard labor. The harder, the better.
I see. Then I would suggest go speaking to go speak to the shepherds and livestock people, and there's always pig pens need mucking out.
Zanhorn's like, also, some of us are more born to, how should I say this?
How should you
a
say
more
this?
a more motivational role.
Some would
Well-
call him a cheerleader.
We're all
Zanhorn
we're
will
all
shoot him a look.
motivated by Shanto's guidance. Oh, hey, blessed words guide and motivate us all in these days.
But not like one of my performances.
Whoa, are you a bard, are you, sir?
Of course.
Oh,
Some would say.
you look so-
Benjin will shoot. Sorry, Zanhorn will shoot Benjin at it this time. Like, Jesus, these are my friends.
Well, maybe have some competition then from yourself and Orin. Maybe you can do a duet.
No.
Well, you
Or
know.
dance off.
Better believe it, bro.
No.
Yeah,
and,
Zanhorn will be like, anything I can do to help motivate the people at your service.
Yes, and I believe my skills lie in a more scholarly direction. So any assistance your scribes or record keepers could use, I am at their disposal.
I'd head back to the livestock pens. I'm pretty sure we can find some work for all of your skills.
Very good, very good.
Just before we go, out of curiosity, is there anywhere here that sells any kind of magical items or anything along those lines?
What is it exactly you're after?
Oh, anything that
Help us kill giants.
yeah,
Or dragons. Anything that helps us kill giants or dragons.
to help us
Sorry.
better serve the people.
I've said this is a farming community, so we don't have much in the way of magical weapons here.
Never
Do you
hurts
have
to
any
ask.
kind of shops?
Well, the only real store we have is Mother's Bounty at the entrance.
That's with the
And what
halfling
do they
woman.
sell there?
Seeds
Strawberries.
and fruits and vegetables.
Strawberries.
Nice
Well,
pears.
where do you get all your tools from and everything like that?
Well, we make them all ourselves. We're a community. We don't need to trade. We trade with Waterdeep. Waterdeep provides us mainly with military support rather than financial, and whatever money we do need is spent on upgrading our stuff. But that all comes from Waterdeep.
Is there anywhere where I can get a hip flask from?
I'm sure if you went to the North Furrows Inn, you'd be able to get the barman to. He makes his own beer glasses. Maybe he can make you a small flask.
Sandhorn's
okay.
going to look slightly shocked that
Cool.
Benjin doesn't already have one.
Even I have a hip flask and I don't drink.
I have a water thing. I'm specifically after a hip flask. I've got a.
Is there any water in it? Or is it like
Well.
wine?
All right. I need a second. I have a water skin, and a second water skin would do. But hip flask would
We,
go down well.
we don't really trade in goods, but if you need anything, again, ask at the tavern.
Okay.
I think we need to see Maxine first. Maxine?
Noxine?
Naxine.
Maxine.
Naxine.
We need to go see Maxine first to send a message to Waterdeep about the folks at Nightstone. and
She's
then-
also staying at the inn.
Maxine.
Jolly good. In which case, we shall all
Maxine.
go to the.
Maxine. Sorry. Sandhorn can't help himself sometimes.
Very good. Thank you for your help. Let us make our way to the inn then, gentlemen.
Chanter's blessing upon you, sirs.
And you also.
And Ogma's blessings upon you, sir.
Thank you.
As we walk back past the bears, do I get any? Are they normal bears? Do they seem
As
right?
far as you can see, they appear to be normal bears, yeah.
They're just a little bit
Tame.
tame.
Mm.
I'm really sure that you can't use the word tame in regards to a bear.
They haven't eaten us. That seems
Okay.
pretty tame to me. From
And
Bear,
pretty odd
Hungry.
if they've just walked in like that.
from Sandhorn's limited experience.
Hmm.
Compared to the ones that, try and eat performers, these seem pretty normal. Pretty nice.
I think these are spy bears.
Spy bears.
I think you're looking for an excuse to get into a bear.
It's a Trojan bear. That's what it is.
You raise a very fair point. I mean, they did apparently come from nowhere, and yes,
They scaled some walls
Very
that
fair
giants
point.
couldn't.
Okay then.
or
how
they
about
found a
this?
secret entrance, or they're polymorphed druids. And I say
Okay.
that loud enough for them to hear and see if there's any reaction.
Hmm.
How about this? I believe Benjin has the ability to perform some sort of animal dance, which allows him to talk to animals. Am I right in this?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Right. Why don't you do your
Okay.
animal dance, talk to the bear, and if it is a bear, then it will talk bear back to you. If it's a druid, I'm assuming the druid can't also speak bear.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yes? Either
it's
way,
worth a shot.
it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the rest of us will go to the pub.
Well, hang on. No.
No, I'm staying here.
Do I? Oh, okay. It is just a dance, isn't it? Yes. Sorry. So,
Yeah, but
I
is
don't
this the ritual where you invoke the spirit of the big fish, then the little fish?
I think it was, or was that Beast Sense? Where I? Oh yeah. I think it was the big fish, little.
And
fish
then the
castle
even
boss,
bigger
right?
crate.
So like, yeah. I'll we've got 10 minutes, haven't we? So we'll just hang around for 10 minutes and I'll do the ritual.
Should I cut to the intermission again?
And we don't have to do it in real time. And I can communicate with a bear. So
While you're doing that, Zanhorn will pull his flute out as you're dancing away and try and play something that goes in time to your dancing. And I imagine that while he's doing that, you're just glaring at him like, I'm trying to concentrate here, you idiot.
I'm just like literally the oddest barbarian ever.
Dancing in front of a bear.
Yeah.
What does the bear make of Benjin's dancing?
Yeah. That's the first question I ask it.
Over to you.
Yeah. Over to you, bear.
What's the name of the spell you've used?
Speak with animals. Do you want me to read it out to you?
So I just want to just double check a couple of details on it as well.
I can possibly bring it up.
Right, how intelligent? The question here is, before I go any further, is how intelligent is a bear?
So they are bears.
Rumble.
Sorry. Too meta?
Oh dear. So yes, it becomes immediately apparent as soon as you cast the spell and start speaking that you are speaking to a bear, because you get a feeling straight away that if this was a druid who'd wild shaped or a creature that polymorphed, that straight away what you'd have would be something different. But here you can kind of feel the primal kind of bear.
Yeah.
It's ooh, silly man dance.
Zanhorn will nudge Benjin and be like, so how do they get in?
Silly man got food. Food.
That's you,
Oh.
Benjin.
You're
Silly
the
man
silly
got food.
Zanhorn will be like, I think they're trying to say something. What are they saying?
They're asking for food. We haven't got any food. I'll tell him we'll get some. And we'll
I've got rations.
To be fair, there is, because you're in a temple to the earth.
Oh.
There are tables everywhere overflowing with fruit.
So I'll shout over to Zanhorn and say, chuck some apples, chuck some whatever. Just he wants food for answers.
So Zanhorn throws an apple at me. He munches away. Tasty, sweet food.
Yeah.
Mm.
So how did you get in?
Followed food.
Followed food.
Smelt food. Followed food.
Right.
Over the wall? Oh, I don't know what he's saying.
No, you don't
What's
know
he saying?
Yeah. Did you come in the entrance? Or
Entrance.
Smaller words.
Mm.
A hole in the wall.
We came through. We found big mountain and came through cave.
Ooh. So there's a tunnel. There's a secret way in.
We came through cave. Could smell food. Came in here. People then gave us lots of food. We stayed.
Right. I'm obviously relaying this back to the guys. I'm speaking to him in bear.
That bear sounds a lot like a goblin. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how you convey the intelligence of a bear.
I think you did pretty well.
There aren't any mountains near Goldenfields.
No, but there are some very big walls, aren't there, that would look like mountains to a bear.
Okay, granted.
So,
So when he says cave in a mountain, he just means a gate, potentially.
Maybe, or a hole underneath it.
yeah.
Can we suggest to Benjin that we gesture to the bears to get them outside and point at a couple of things like,
Why don't we just ask
by
the bears to
hole,
tell
do they
us?
mean gate, and by mountain, do they mean wall?
Yeah.
Uh,
That sounds good.
Why don't we suggest that there are going to be other things that are going to come through the same cave and take all the food away? We need the bears to show us this cave so that we can stop other things to taking their food.
Yeah.
Clever paladin.
See, I'm not very. I'm wise, but I'm not clever. So I need you guys to guide my.
You'll keep us safe.
No, we need to motivate the bears into showing
Yes.
us how they got in.
So let's
More apples.
grab loads of apple. In fact, I'll ask the bear what his favourite is. Might as well get the best shit for him.
Mm.
Do
So,
tell, DM. Do
bear.
tell.
What food do you prefer?
Sweet food.
Sweet
Good
food.
answer.
Right. Get the fruits, not the
I'm-
bread.
I'm
Zanhorn's
gonna
got
get
like
some
a good armful.
apples. I've got loads of strawberries.
Yep.
Just in case that halfling spot.
We'll ask him as well. So we'll ask him to show us the way that he came in.
Someone check
Okay.
their mic connection. It stopped
No,
again.
Not me.
No one move.
Yeah. So we'll ask them to show us the way that they came in.
Okay. So he goes, food?
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll feed him one at a
Follow.
time. We'll go. We're only going to feed you as you show us. You're not going to get this all at once.
With this, the bear starts lumbering out of the abbey and immediately goes around the back of the abbey heading south.
Great.
So how long does your spell Spit Animals last? You did that to pick it up, didn't you?
It's about an
10
hour or so,
minutes.
isn't it?
Oh, okay.
10
minutes.
minutes.
I thought it takes 10 minutes to cast.
No, it lasts. It's one action, which for me is 10 minutes because it's a what's
It's a
the word?
ritual.
It's a ritual.
Okay.
The duration is 10
So-
minutes. The other one is 1 hour.
Gotcha.
That's the
can
one
do.
where you take control of an animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that would
So
be
I
very
guess we've
helpful.
had a couple of minutes. I guess we've had a minute or two just while we had the.
So he starts kind of taking the paths that go through the cornfields. So he's
Okay.
kind of heading this way. And that is, so he's taking you about half a mile through the cornfields. And then the spell wears out, but he's still leading you on.
Okay.
Okay, we keep
Ah,
following him.
So
And
he's going to keep showing us, but we can't. Yeah. I can't commune with him anymore.
Mm.
So I guess I realise that's worn off, do I?
Yeah.
So I just.
Because
tell the
when
other
every so often it roars at you, like, "Rah!" and you just
Yeah.
throw another apple.
Okay.
Like what, Steve?
I'm not doing that again.
Don't.
If
It was
it's
terrifying.
If it's a ritual, I presume I can do it multiple times. Can I?
Yeah, you can't. It just
Not
takes you a while
once
to
per day.
cast. Yeah, no.
Can he?
So
Can he
what-
do his dancing while he's being led?
No, I'm
It
thinking
take-
if we just wait till he gets to where we're going, and I can always do it again.
This is much more entertaining
If
if
you
you're
think
doing
you
it
need
while we're
to.
being led. There's just this bear walking along with with a barbarian dancing and Zanhorn behind him with his flute.
By the way,
This,
in fact,
this
I should say
barbarian-
now that
Yes.
I have hidden the bear paw.
Yeah, wise. Hi, Panda.
Luckily, he seems a bit dumb because he hasn't noticed the bear skin cloak I'm wearing.
No, it's a barbarian dressed as a bear dancing.
Who actually has a bear as his bear totem, and so I may actually have some physical appearance of a bear as well. In fact, I didn't even ask it was a male or female bear.
You're not going to try and do anything dodgy, are you?
No, I'm worried it might try and do something dodgy to me and my furry bear skin cloak.
Oh dear.
Just don't try and ride this one, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Stop
Where does it
interrupting
lead
him. He's trying to work out what the bear's saying again.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes you to the edge of the walls to here.
All right. Okay. X
And
marks the spot.
X marks the spot, quite literally, yeah.
Right.
Should have edited that before we started, but never mind.
It's all right. None of us are with it enough to spot it, so you're all right. Are there any other X's?
So this like area of the wall straight away you can see. So you've got like a step up. So you can actually this here on the left hand side, the bottom left, is a cross section of what this kind of looks like.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is where you would be. Now this is one of the watchtowers here, but you can see that there's a difference of 20 feet between the ground and the wall and there's a sheer drop on the other side of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get up the wall where you are because those are at the watchtowers, which are kind of on these corners here. But you can see where you are. Yeah, the wall is taking quite a bit of a beating.
This is the southeast corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's basically where the giants have bombed it, or whatever.
Yeah. And there is enough room you could see it's pretty clear that's how the bear would have got in, because they would have climbed through the. It's not so much a gap.
Been here very long then.
If you're casting the ritual again, aren't you? Yeah. So yeah,
why not?
The bear doesn't really know how to answer that question because it kind of goes haven't hibernated.
Right.
We can find out how long
they
the bears have
haven't-
been here.
They haven't repaired it.
But essentially, they climbed up over the wall. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, what you can see is like I try and draw a sketch here.
And
So
no one's repaired it, which is ridiculous.
So the wall, I'm going to just draw this like kind of sketch here. So the wall kind of does something similar to what you can see there. So it does that and that, yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Where am I meant to be looking for? Okay.
Southeast.
Yeah, the bottom right, yeah. So what's happened is the wall's taken a beating, so it kind of goes like that now.
Right.
In like a fissure. So if you imagine like a front view of the wall would kind of look like that, and then all this rubble would be kind of like there. Sketch.
Okay.
It's enough that something could climb over that and into Goldenfields.
So I think we ought to go back and warn the abbot about this.
I'd imagine the abbot already knows about this because the giant attack was a little while ago.
He might know about it, but he might not have walked down here and know that it hasn't been repaired. He may have ordered someone to do it and they've been lazy.
Or in the pub, or both.
Or in the
Yeah.
pub.
And also, we've still got a couple of minutes of talking to the bear. I'm going to ask the bear where he shits.
Just to finally solve that riddle.
Yeah.
Compost heap.
That's quite polite for a bear, to be fair. Yeah, at least he goes and does it somewhere sensible.
Really is quite tame.
Yeah.
Zanhorn will tentatively try and like pat it on the head.
Doesn't seem to mind. It just keeps like sniffing around as if like, and you hear it go. Has this one got food? I can't smell food. Has this one got food?
I'll drop the apples I was carrying and like step back again.
I'm going to ask him why he's being, other than food, why he's being so friendly. Has he been friendly with non-bears before?
What is it with you and interracial
Well, it depends on
breeding?
your definition of friendly.
Well,
That people feeders. Why get
is
angry?
he enchanted or anything like that? That's what I'm trying to work out.
It just kind of goes people feeders. Why get angry?
Fat birds and their feeders. Is it right, guys? We've got a couple more minutes on the spell. Is there anything else we want to know from the bear? We might even be able to at least perform a small favour. Oh, that probably counts as a favour. Does anyone want to see a dancing bear?
That
Zanhorn's
seems
like
a bit mean.
I thought I was the performer here.
Yeah.
There is a chance that Zanhorn will get upstage. So
I'll tell you what, we could get some, we could get
No,
some
there
coin.
isn't.
I'll tell you what, we could get some coin in the tavern if we literally paid this bear fruit the dance with Zanhorn, like literally the waltz or something like that with Zanhorn. That would upstage that halfling.
Zanhorn will go to try and slap Benjin and then just go, no, I know what happens when I try that. Look, I'm a professional performer. I don't need a bloody bear.
In fact, oh, hang on, I know. So before it wears off, we asked them about what he knows about what's going on outside. Has he seen anything strange outside? Any unnatural goings on out in the woods where he came from, or anything like that?
The bear is looking at you quite flummoxed by this such a complicated question.
All right.
let's just say thank you
How can we
there
simplify that
and
question?
give him the rest of the food.
All right.
I don't. The bear is going to understand, this good and evil and kind of any kind of politicking.
No.
If it's
gonna
not,
be
is
beyond
it food? Is it not food?
Yeah, as far as that bear's concerned, it's can I eat it? Can I shag it? Can I fight it? If it doesn't fall into one of those three questions,
Sorry, are we talking about the bear or Benjin? You missed out. Can I drink it?
yeah, that's the one difference between Benjin and bears.
Good to know.
Benjin hasn't shagged anything yet in this game.
True.
Actually, I don't think I've written anything about
Please
sort of
don't.
thing in there.
Right. So back to the tavern to sing of our heroic deeds.
No, we need to go see Naxine first.
Oh yes, Naxine. Yes, that's
We
right.
need to go send a message to.
Well, we've got to go back past the abbot, past the abbey. Let's
Where
tell
was-
the abbot about the hole in the wall on the way.
Where was Maxine, Steve?
She was in the tavern.
She was in the tavern. Let's just go
Yeah.
straight to the tavern.
Where is the tavern?
That is over here.
Am I zoomed out?
Okay, yes.
So we have got to go back past there.
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, if we go past the abbey on our way to the tavern.
Pop in
Right.
and literally just tell him about the hole in the wall,
Yep.
Yep.
and we'll
Okay.
walk the bear back. Make sure he gets back home.
So yeah, the bear follows you back. So it's probably been about an hour or so from you leaving the abbey and coming back. It's probably been about an hour.
All right.
Because the bear's plodding along at a pace, stopping every so often to eat more apples. You get back to the abbey. The abbot is there.
Wonders why we've got the bear.
Yeah. So I see you were talking to old Darlow there. Darlow.
Even
Darlow
ask
the
him
bear.
anything.
Darlow the bear. Darlow and Tilby just turned up a month or so ago. Scared some people out in the southern fields, and well, they haven't hurt anyone yet, and they seemed rather docile. Some of the druids tried to speak to them. Didn't seem very much of a problem, so we just let them be. Hope we didn't mooch too many apples off you.
Oh, hundreds.
What can I do for you, gents, again?
Well, we just took a walk with a bear and spoke to him, and you've got a big fucking hole in your wall.
Zanhorn will be like,
It's
actually,
really
you've got
nice.
a breach in your wall.
Yeah.
Breach.
Breach, bear reach. There's a tumbleweed, isn't
Just
there?
doing some tumbleweed sound effect now.
These guys really are a tough crowd.
Well, I'd been assured by Strog that this was all underhand. It was.
Well, I'll tell you
Wasn't
what, if you
official.
say it was a month ago they came in and you've still got a hole in the wall, that is not in hand. That's a pretty piss poor show, to be honest.
I'm no
We've
military
come from a
expert.
town that's just got absolutely decimated by shit. You've been attacked by giants. You've had bears walk in. You're checking to see if people are bringing a couple of seeds in, and you've got a big hole in the back wall.
You're right. This is most distressing.
I mean, between me and you, there could be loads of seeds coming in that hole down there. Mushrooms and everything.
Could be whole trees coming in through there.
Yeah.
I will speak to Strog. I will get this sorted. Thank you very much for your concern, and thank you very much for highlighting this issue to us.
You're welcome.
Right. Shall we head to the tavern? I feel a performance coming on about how we saved the town of Goldenfields from potential near certain death.
I've just realised. Sorry, out of character now. I've just realised we spent like 3 days on that on the cloud, was it?
Yeah.
I not only does Zanhorn have is it a flute or something like that?
Yeah.
I've got a drum we could have been practicing being a band.
For the duo.
Oh. Next time.
Okay, so you guys heading
Especially
to...
if I get pissed.
So you guys heading to the North Furrows End, are you?
Indeed.
Okay, so you head out of the Abbey, so you're now heading north. What you got kind of directly in front of the Abbey is a large, I said it's a bit like a large roundabout again. There obviously seems to be some kind of central meeting space because there's carts get stacked out here and you see the odd one or two people just having a bit of a relax for 10 minutes or what have you. What is rather bizarre at this point, which you didn't quite notice when you walked into the Abbey, because you just thought it was some kids climbing a tree in the middle of this area. But you've noticed the tree is not in the same position it was when you walked into the Abbey. And then, as you
was that someone dropping their wineskin? What?
And as you kind of walk past it this time, you notice the tree is moving around, and all the kids are still climbing on it and what have you. But it's kind of like swinging them with arms. And when you get through it, you actually see it's got a face and it's talking to the kids.
Is this something we've seen before?
It's not something you've seen before, no.
Cenza,
Something I may have read about.
Cenza, have you read about something like this?
History check, nature check, along those lines.
Nature check. What did you say, Ben?
Did you say this is like a talking tree?
Yes.
Thing?
Oh, yes.
Would I have...
Good work.
Are you sure I wouldn't have seen or known anything about it when I was in...
Right. So you...
Harness?
Paul and Benjin would know this as something that appears where druids are, and it's where they awaken. The term is like an awakened thing. So this is where they basically give a human-like or humanoid-like intelligence to another object.
Interesting.
So this is an awakened tree.
Okay.
Zanhor will nudge Benjin and be like, "Is that what happened to you?"
Benjin.
What's it doing?
Where am I?
What thing is he going to kill Zanhor with?
What's he rolling? Unarmed attack.
I'm going to backhand him. 16. What's your armor class?
15.
1 point of damage.
Zanhor will look a bit chastised, like, Jesus, I was only joking.
Yeah, I don't notice this because I'm completely entranced.
Zanhor will make a mental note, can't take a joke. Jesus.
You noticed he never tried to hit me when I made the joke about him having sex with a bear. just saying he's scared of what.
Zanhorn thinks to himself about making a comment about the fact that maybe it's true then, and then thinks better of it.
Oh, God.
Okay, so you you leave the awakened tree, and Zanhorn rubbing the back of his head. It's like, and everyone else can see it's going to start. It's going to bruise. That is. And you make your way to the tavern. So it's actually one of the larger buildings around it. It's a 3-story building with loads of arched windows, and you can see a plume of smoke coming from the chimneys. There's the door, the entrance to the tavern is actually framed by 2 statues of 2 rearing horses with their front hooves kind of joining up to make an arch, which is quite an impressive entrance to a tavern. And there's a wooden sign above the door that proclaims it as the Grand Establishment of North Furrows End. And just off to the west-hand side of it, you can see the stables as well.
You broke up there for me. Grand establishment of what?
North Furrows End.
Ah, right.
And you can see the stables off to one side where your horses currently are. You walk into the tavern and it's a large common room meets you. It's quite high ceilinged, plenty of tables around. There's a small stage and there's various people around. So the thing that takes your interest, your eyes are just drawn to him straight away, is what appears to be the barman. So everyone apart from Zanhorn, your eyes are drawn to the tavern, what looks like the landlord, who is quite literally covered in hair. So it's hair all over his face. If you've ever seen those kind of like carnival acts kind of thing where the people have got, he's like that, but it's all gone. Yeah, Wolfman. It's like that. His hair's gone all grey. So this is the guy everyone's talking about as the Yeti. There is a stage. On the stage at the moment is a halfling playing the lute.
What does Zanhorn think of his performance?
Zanhorn thinks.
Is the halfling going to do a performance check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to do it right. Zanhorn is very impressed.
Wow.
Zanhorn is even more impressed that he seems to be playing the lute two-handed, singing, and still swigging from his wine.
How's he doing that?
Because he seems to strum the chords and the melody seems to keep going as he reaches over to his wine glass and takes another gulp.
Zanhorn will shuffle up and take a seat a little bit closer to try and work out how he's doing it.
He's got a loop pedal. It's fine.
A lute pedal was that?
The other person that you can see that catches your eye is a middle-aged, dark-skinned woman with like a beehive hairdo, with glasses perched on the end of her nose, whose table is absolutely covered in books and appears to be scribbling away and looking at several books at the same time.
There goes Cenza.
Someone in our group is going to get the horn now.
Oh dear.
Cenza's going to have sex in his story before Benjin does.
And surprisingly, it won't have been with a book either.
Oh, can you imagine the paper cut?
Oh.
Is there
Stop picturing it.
Northern monk. Is that what they look like, but with masks on, those guys in the hoods?
Yeah.
I'm just waving this, because there's like 900,000 people watching this stream. We might get free beer if we like product place a few things.
It's worth a shot.
What, 9, isn't it?
Is there?
Probably not.
Brilliant.
I don't know. Mr. Cage is our technology man. I don't know how many people are watching.
I don't know. It's too much to,
So I
to
guess
try
we
and
need
find
to
out.
talk to the. I guess we need to talk to the tavern owner and announce ourselves and tell him that he's got our horses and that we that what is his name? Grog? No. Strog. No, was that it?
Strog.
Strog.
Strog the
Strog.
Thunderblade.
Who took our horses there?
Strog.
Strog did.
So-
Mr. Thunderblade.
Yeah.
So while
Is Thunderblade not in there? Is he had his?
No, you can't see him there at the moment.
Okay.
while Benjin's out looking at the horses, Zanhorn overheard Benjin talking in his sleep while we're in the cloud thing that it's his birthday actually today. And so while he's out, he's gonna nip into the kitchen and say, "Can you do you have any cakes or anything like that you guys could just whip up?" And he's gonna have a quick word with the guy that's performing and say, "It's my buddy's birthday today, right? Do you mind if I just give him a quick ditty sort of thing?"
Twitch still go, yeah.
Okay, so when Benjin comes back in, we'll bring the cake back in, and Zanhorn will get his flute ready, and he'll try and encourage the rest of the tavern to join him to sing. birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Is
birthday,
this
dear
song
Benjin.
copyrighted?
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Hey!
Cheers.
There you go.
Embarrassed it, Ben.
Oh dear.
I imagine that 900,000 people probably just sang along with us.
That's what I imagine also.
Yeah. Zanhorn will take a bow and then hand back off to the other chap. I'm like, thanks for that. By the way, excellent performance. Very impressed.
Okay, what's everyone else doing?
At which point, Benjin,
Zanhorn will be like, I'm sorry about earlier.
video feed's gone really choppy for me, right?
Happy birthday, brother.
I'll try stopping that then.
So I think it's probably worth.
No,
talking-
actually, the music was fine. I could actually hear that. It's
Oh,
literally
okay.
the video feed gone for me.
Oh, okay.
There's music.
There was briefly.
But yeah,
There you
I,
go.
Sorry, soundtrack. Soundtrack.
Pub noise.
Mm.
I
Okay.
didn't get that at all. But anyway. I'm going to head over and talk to the barman. Did we catch his name earlier?
Yes, it was. Oh god, I can't read my handwritings. Nensbury Miras? No, what was it?
It was Miros Zelbrin.
Is he
Miros.
human?
Miros, that was it.
It's hard to tell.
Okay,
All
no
that
one's,
hair.
everyone's being too polite to ask.
Okay, so you head over and he's busy like doing the usual barman thing of cleaning a tankard. Good day.
Good day, I believe you are Miros, the owner of the finest.
I am indeed. I may be of assistance this day. Fine day to you, gentlemen.
Yes, I believe Strog Thunderblade has already delivered our horses here. We are the champions of chance, new arrivals into Goldenfields.
Ah, yes. Your horses are well kept back in stable.
Excellent news. We will be requiring rooms for evenings. Do you have them free, spare for us?
Yes, always room more workers here.
Excellent stuff, excellent stuff.
Can I interest you gentlemen in a drink?
For me, just a water, thank you.
Oh, are you sure you won't have one of the famous golden gulp beers?
I'm quite sure, thank you very much. But
I'm going to nudge him and say, just have one and I'll drink it for you. Don't waste a freebie.
But my friends here will all have a drink.
Ah, excellent. As we say, since your first one here, everyone gets a free pint. I have to make you pay for the rest, unfortunately.
I quite understand.
And so you get at these like clay steins, which have the Emerald Enclave symbol in one side, and then other symbols of like Chanteau and Bounty and that kind of thing, and pours out 4 pints.
So, I guess we should ask him how much rooms are for the night and how much stabling is for the night for our horses.
We normally get that on the cheap if Zanhorn does a little show.
Basically, he says that rates are standard, so it's whatever.
Rates are
rate
what?
the place. Standard.
I don't think there was anything we needed to talk to him about, was there? We just needed to see.
Well, I'm going to ask him, obviously, about the Emerald. I'm going to ask him about the Emerald Enclave because as I say, I thought it was unusual that there's this many in one place. So I'm going to ask him what he knows about them and like where. Is there a specific place they meet? And
I
obviously,
mean, what are the Emerald Enclave? Are they like a cult?
Oh, you missed that bit, didn't you?
Yeah, that, yeah.
we're like what was it? We're like
Greenpeace.
D&D Greenpeace.
Yeah.
Right.
so yes, a cult.
We like to keep the natural balance. like to keep the natural balance of things.
You say we, Benjin. That implies that you're part of the Emerald Wave.
Yes, and I show him, obviously because he didn't notice earlier on, even though I made it quite clear when we went through the gates. I show him the brooch or whatever that I'm wearing. Yeah.
To which this Miros kind of is standing as you're saying this. Oh, you're a member of the Enclave.
Yeah.
Free board for you gentlemen this evening. Free room and board.
Oh,
Enclave members are always welcome.
brilliant.
Thanks very much.
And stabling as well?
Oh, yes.
Good man, good man.
Zanhorn, was there anything we needed to talk to our fine host about in particular, or were we just here to see him?
Zanhorn will be like, but the performance, that was what we're here for, right? Oh, by the way, we are the heroes. No,
I've
not.
I've already done the.
We've told him that.
Okay, very good. Sorry,
I actually used Champions of Chance.
Very good.
And I didn't guffaw, laugh, or sting or anything.
It's good.
It's all right. I've just got us free board and lodging. Don't worry.
Zanhorn looks slightly dejected because that was what he used to do. But
So
equally,
yes,
go on.
I'm gonna ask him: is there anywhere specific where I should go, being new to town, where my colleagues would meet, or is it just they generally just are part of the town and city?
They're generally just a part of the town, he tells you.
Okay.
The abbot is high up.
So
Okay.
Zanhorn will just ask one thing, and that's is the abbot basically the only person in charge here? Because we spotted quite a big hole in the wall, and he didn't seem that fussed about it, really. I mean, he said he was going to do something about it, but if there are giants attacking, are you guys not worried about that?
Walls have held strong for many years. We've suffered orc attacks, gnoll attacks, goblin attacks.
With the hole
We've
in
done
them?
well so far. Well, yes, that is a bit of a concern, but
Would I know what Knoll is? Sorry.
yes, a gnoll
Okay,
is gnoll is like a kind of like hyena beast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just wanted to know if I'd know what it was.
yeah, you'd know what a gnoll was.
Okay. Cool.
He says the abbot doesn't like conflict,
Okay.
and Strug, between me and me, Strug's very lazy, complacent. He'll probably fix the hole in the wall, Strug will, but it might be weeks, it might be months away.
Well, maybe
Thing
I
is,
should
though-
have a chat with tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
We've got a good system. Those watchtowers have all got bells on them. As soon as someone rings a watchtower bell, the next person rings it. Before you know it, everyone will be mobilised. Everyone's confident. But that wall, the hole in the wall, yeah, didn't realise that.
On another note, sorry, just one more thing. You're a tavern owner. You must hear a lot of stories. Have you heard any stories about a giant flying castle coming nearby?
Flying castle. Oh,
I know it
Sounds
sounds
like
fanciful.
sounds like something young Orin was talking about a few weeks back. That's the halfling there singing on the lute, but let's just say Orin likes to partake in the old golden gulp, and not many people believe him when he's stoned, when he's fallen over drunk.
At which point I chug the whole pint and ask him for another round of 4 for
But
me
Benjin,
and my
Benjin,
friends.
Benjin.
Chugged it.
At least he was asking for a round of 4 for all of us, not just for Benjin this time.
Yes, 4 for each of us. No. I
still don't
How
drink.
much is that?
I still don't drink, and we need to be aware that there's a hole in the wall, and giants were attacking weeks ago.
Zanhorn's been reminded that there's another performer, so he'll just pick up the beer and head over to him and start wanting to ask him questions.
Yeah,
Right then,
I've
guys.
not really been listening to this. I've just been stealing a look at looks at Maxine and all her lovely, lovely books.
You've got 2 beers. As well.
Whoa.
Check out the bindings on that. Whoa.
Right then, gents, it is 10:10, so I'm afraid we're going to have to call it a night.
Okay.
Good.
So we are in North Furrow's End, and you've spoken to Xeros, and you're now going to speak to Orin, and you're going to speak to Nexine. What's your next ports of call?
Cool.
Are we just out of interest, out of character here? Are we talking to them? Are we coming back next session at the same point?
Yeah, we're
We're
coming
not going to
straight.
bed yet. So we're what time are we now? About 3, 4 in the afternoon, are we?
It's quite about 4, 5-ish.
Oh,
something
shit,
like
I
that.
started early. That's all right.
It's
To
not
be
that
fair,
early for Benjin.
we were drinking barrel loads by the barrel recently, so we've got our our tolerances are higher, I think.
Sounds reasonable.
All right.
Okay then, gents.
Cool.
We should call it a night there.
Well played.
Anyone who's watching the stream, thank you very much
Yes.
for watching.
Night, night, folks.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Catch you later.
Cheers, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Good night, guys. Ta-ra.